What's up, guys? It's Vito from Perfect Storm Gaming, and today we're going to get to the bottom of the question that I've been asked numerous times over and over again in the chat. Which one is the best? Kris Coolmod's 2TB light gun drive or Jasen Baker's 1TB Integrum Retro light gun drive plus? So the difference to start out with are the front ends. One uses big box and launch box, and that is just Jasen Baker's Integrum Retro, and the other uses coin ops, and that's going to be Kris Coolmod's Retrobeast. So if you have a preference like me, I prefer launch box and big box over coin ops. However, I will say I am super impressed with the things that Kris Coolmod has done with these. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next thing that's different. They both have update features, which is fantastic. Now, there's differences between them as well. Kris Coolmod tends to update his every 1 to 2 months. I believe he is on a 2-month cycle now with updating. Don't quote me on that. Definitely check his website, hit up his Discord and ask him. And Jasen Baker can do his updates more on the fly, and I'll show you what the difference is. So if you're going to look at the Kris Coolmod one first, he uses something called Sync Recovery, which is some type of program that he uses, and you basically open it up. You're going to see here it's partitioned into 2 separate drives. One is for D, one is for R. You would click it, you would right click it and run in attended mode and let it do its thing and follow the prompts. Okay, so the difference there is this thing is going to basically go through every single file that's on the drive, check it to see what the new update is, remove what it's got, and push the new stuff. So the difference here is Kris Coolmod is going to literally update the entire 2 terabytes in one shot, but it's going to take time. And depending on which one that you're getting, so I believe there's a free upgrade service or update service, sorry, a free update service. And then there is a paid Patreon update service. The paid Patreon update service is way faster, definitely worth using. I appreciate you putting me on that. You're the man for that. So there's that. That's the differences. And you have to do each individual drive separately. So you got one here and one here. It takes me anywhere from 1 to 4 hours, depending to update, depending on how big of an update he's got. And that's how he pushes all of his patching updates, all of his bug fixes, adding for games, etc. So that's a cool thing there. Now with Jasen Baker, he's got a bit of a different system. Here he's got an entire updater that he wrote himself. The difference between Jasen Baker and Kris Coolmod also, I believe Kris Coolmod writes code as well, but Jasen Baker does a lot of his things through his tool. So he's got this pretty cool updater tool that he shared with everybody, which is pretty sweet, which makes it easy for the games to automatically just load the guns up and auto configure. So his updater is different. You open it up like this, it opens up. He's got a big war games thing. So the difference for Jasen Baker's is very, very simple. With his, you can either update some of it, or you can update most of it, or you can update whatever it is you choose. So instead of going and having you forced to sit there through the time it takes for it to check into each individual file, see what's what, see what's not. With this, you can just go in and you can hit advanced mode. Like for instance, I needed to go in there before and I needed to update my Mission Impossible game because the artwork was missing. So I just went to Teknoparrot like here. I scrolled down the Mission Impossible right here. I checked it, right? And then I went back up, y'all. And then I clicked update. And what it'll do is it'll just give me the update that I checked, or you can uncheck the advanced mode and you can select all changes. You hit update, yes. And it'll give me the Launchbox emulators and the Xbox emulator. So I don't need to do this. I actually updated it already, but for some reason it's still showing. I'm going to let Baker know that it's still showing up here. And he'll fix that to where that doesn't happen anymore. So sometimes every once in a while, you do have to, I like to run the updater once or twice in a row to see and make sure that I got it and I cleared it and I double checked to make sure we got it. So that's the difference between Jasen Baker's and Kris Coolmod's. Kris Coolmod's, if you're going to update your drive, you're updating the entire drive. With this, you don't have to update the entire drive. You could just go in and get either what his updates are, or if let's just say you're playing a game and you realize you're playing Wii and you're playing a Zelda game and you realize it's not loading, you could just come back through the updater, come back and get the game, and it'll just put that game on there and you can go back and now the game will work. So that's the difference in there. The other difference between the two of them is going to be how they auto configure. So for Jasen Baker's, you literally, as soon as you run his updating steps, as I showed you in the first 2 videos that I made previously, if you haven't seen them, please go back and watch them. I do full in-depth review of Jasen Baker's original light gun drive. and then I do a nice quick review of his Lightgun Drive Plus. The last time I did an update on Kris Coolmod's drive, this new stuff wasn't here, so we're gonna go ahead and get that worked on. I'm probably gonna do another review, but like I was saying, the difference is between the two of them is for Kris Coolmod's, you go in here and you do the one-click automate, and before I had my retro shooter guns hooked up, and you had the retro shooter guns here. So then it noticed that I have my gun for our light guns here. So after I click button, the one-click automate, it basically changed my guns over and shows me the gun for our light guns. The other cool thing is, if you click on these light gun icons, it'll pop up the GUI for gun for IR. So if you need to recalibrate or something's off and you need to recalibrate, you can just hit them right here. That's pretty cool. Okay. So the other thing is for Jasen Bakers is once you plug the light guns in and you run his update and his install features, everything just works. Like if you take out a gun for IR and then you plug in a retro shooter, it's going to notice that it's there. You don't have to run the one-click automated install like you have to do for Kris Coolmod's. But again, I like this one-click automate install because it'll also tell you if you've got different guns plugged in, it'll tell you. It'll say, you know, player 1 is GunCon 2, player 2 is retro shooter, player 3 is GunCon 3, or GunCon 2. It'll tell you over, you know, what each individual light gun is plugged in. So that's pretty cool. So that's the difference between those two features. Like I said, Kris Coolmod's got his one-click automate. Once you run through his install, you go and you click that, and that sets it all up and gets it running plug and play. It's pretty sweet. They both also have what is it? The MAME hooker, their own versions of MAME hooker. Kris Coolmod's is HD recoil, it's called, and Jasen Bakers is calling his total recoil, and he's still working on that. He basically built it from the ground up, so that way I've got it. I convinced him to do it where he's going to do it for the marquee, and he's going to do it for where the buttons flash. Also, this review can be for any system, but I'm doing my review or my comparison for you guys on an arcade cabinet. So that's the difference. You can use this on a PC or a PC TV setup, no problem, but you're not going to get the full benefit of these drives, and that's going to be the marquees and things like that, which is pretty cool, which is some of my favorite features about it. As you can see on the screen, I'm capturing both the marquee, the TV here, and then the marquee is right above it next to my picture on my video screen. That's going to be the marquee. So every time a game changes, both of them have different features for that. So I believe Jasen Bakers are still images and videos. Kris Coolmod's has got flash features and some video features. I've always told Kris Coolmod he needs to step his game up and put the video marquees for the light gun games on there, but I think that'll bump up the drive larger and make it to where he can't have as many things on there. Each individual drive has their own different set of games, and I'll go over that. Kris Coolmod does have more overall games on his because his is a 2 terabyte drive, and he offers different light gun games in particular. I think he's quoting himself at over 1,000 light gun games. I'm going to check right now when I come in here. So let's start with Kris Coolmod's for right now. As you can see, he's got this nice new feature, this new clean look to his setup, and he's got a lot of different features that you can change and settings that you can change here. I'm not going to go into that. I will actually go ahead and review this since he's changed it so much to get you guys a difference. It looks like he's giving you hyperspin, retro feed, whatever that is, themes next to. I'm not sure these are front ends, but these are themes for front end for hyperspin. I'm going to run it on his native, which is point ops. You're going to see as it loads up, it initially goes into this. You can see the little black screen for the marquee. So he doesn't have a loading marquee for here. I wish he did have. That would be more clean, more cool. So let me go ahead and skip it. All right, so as you can see here, Kris Coolmod's got a nice clean feature. He's got his light gun marquee up here. So we're in the light gun feature. So we're light gun settings. So we're going to go here. I'm going to show you the difference. Okay. So Kris Coolmod offers a couple different things here differently than most people. We're going to start with the power thing. So he offers you your light gun games, okay? He offers you a full set of MAME. So if you open it up, there's going to be 3,229 games here. It's down in the bottom right-hand corner. And as you see, they all have these generic marquees he made, which are pretty cool. I like the more personalized look of different theme marquees, but this might save him space to have these. I'm not entirely sure how he does it. Okay. Then he's got his settings for Wii Light Guns. I don't know why that's there. And then he's got your Teknoparrot. So he's got a full Teknoparrot library. That's what's different between him and Kris Coolmod, between him and Jasen Baker, because Kris Coolmod has a full Teknoparrot library. And what I mean by that is he doesn't just have the light gun games for Teknoparrot. He's got all of the games for Teknoparrot. So Afterburner, all this stuff, and it all plays with remote control, and or I believe it plays control panel depending on what you set it up with or how you set it up. Again, I'm playing mine on a 50-inch 4-player arcade cabinet from Arcades Are Fun, a company out in New Jersey. So that's why I'm playing mine. So then we go here into the light gun games. We're going to see what we got here. Okay, so he's got it separated by categories. The first one, Arcade Gunner, is going to be PC light gun games. I'm going to go in here and show you game counts. It's got 118 PC games here. Big Buck Hunter Arcade, BioCrisis. He's got a lot of the Blamcom light gun game, Blue Estate, which is a really cool X-rated game or whatever, rated R game. Really cool adult themed game. He's got a lot of good games here. He's got 118 PC games. I don't believe Baker has that much, but Baker could upgrade to more of a count. He's got his MAME light gun counts here. He's got 110 MAME light guns. So I'm going to go through and show you the difference between the two drives game counts. Like I said, Kris Coolmod has more light gun games for sure. Okay, 3DO. Got 3DO light guns. We got 9. Action Max is all full motion. Got 5. If you're wondering where the number is, it's at the bottom right-hand corner. What the hell was this? American Laser. We got 16. Android Shooter. So these are all these crazy flash games he's got. These weird like phone flash games, which they consider light gun games. So that's people are like they're adding all these things, like Fruit Ninja and things like that, to kind of tack on the amount of the number of light gun games and stuff like that. There's 41. For Atari, he's got 40. Atari 7800, he's got 5. For Atari Video Game XE System, he's got 4. For a Thomas Wave, he's got 5. Dreamcast, he's got 6. Flashlight gun. Okay, these are other flashlight games. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I guess these are the flashlight gun games. He's got 761. Jesus Christ. Flashlight gun games. So these are all these weird little flashlight gun games that are on cell phones and PCs and things like that. And I guess they could be considered like, you know, there's targets and things like that could be considered light gun games. So yeah, a lot of people are padding up a lot of their systems and their game counts for light guns with these and saying, oh, I've got 1700, but they're not really technically light gun games, but you know, they are in a sense. So Sega Genesis, he's got 6. Indie Rail Shooter, he's got 61. That's going to be these types of games, whatever the hell these things are. I never really looked through this, but I'm going to have to. These are different. I don't think Baker has these. MS-DOS, 16. Naomi, got 8. Namco System 357 Arcade Gunner, he's got 3. Deadstorm Pirates. NES Homebrew, Jasen Baker does not have these. These are like these really cool duck hunts that we played on the live stream last night. Got 30 of NES Homebrews. I think these are like homemade games that people have modded. Playing NES, he's got 36. NEX 3D, he's got 3. Play in Browser, I don't know what that is, but there's 14 of them. Looks like maybe these are browser games. And again, you can see the marquees on top. He's just got the generic, cool looking, like, you know, Ember's GIF, which is pretty cool looking. I like it, but I kind of like the individual look better. Then he's got PlayStation 1 player only. He's got 35 games here. PlayStation Blamcon, Gun for AR. Oh, I guess this is all these. He's got them brought up, got 20 of them. I don't know why they're broken down like that. PlayStation 2, 1 player only. I guess he doesn't have the 2-player working. 18 games. PlayStation 2, 9 games. I guess this is, since he's got 2 guns there, maybe that means that he's got 2 light guns. Maybe it's 2-player, possibly. I'm not sure. PS3 games, he's got 6. Sega CD, which has the most bomb theme song ever, 8. Sega Hikaru, he's got 2. Got the Firefighter game and Planet Harriers. That's pretty cool. Player 1 only for Master System, he's got 13 games. Sega M2, Model 2, he's got 6. Sega Model 3, he's got 4. Sega Saturn, he's got 15. I have no idea what the hell this is. Sinji 2, there's 14 of them. Super NES shooters, he's got 16 games. And Teknoparrot Lightgun games, he's got 50. We did notice that the Transformers game is missing. So the Transformers game, which is here, there's a second Transformers game. He doesn't have it here. We realized that was missing last night. There's the Inhuman Alliance, and then there's the one with the moon in the title. It's not here, and it's not in the PC games unless he's got it put somewhere else. But we realized that, yeah, it's either hidden in the drive or not here, Coolmod. So if you're watching this, you got to add that game to it. And I'll show you Arcade Gunner. Whatever, I already committed this way. In Arcade Gunner, that Transformers is not here either. So Time Crisis should be right here. It's not here. So yeah, you don't have the Transformers game. So that's the difference between those light guns. Then he's also got all light gun games. So let's see what his total counts. He's claiming he's got a total of 1,527 light gun games altogether on the drive. So he's saying that he's got a grand total of 1,527 actual light gun games. That's not including the MAME count, and that's not including the counts for the Teknoparrot stuff. Okay. Did I miss anything? He's also got some pretty cool things set up where he's got Wii set up. Oh, did I not get Xbox? Did I miss some of these? Oh yeah, okay. I missed some of these. Let me finish going through them all. I stopped the Teknoparrot because I'm stupid. So you got your light gun shooters. I did that one on. You got your Wii 1-player only. He's got 80 games. That's kind of cool. That's a nice amount. Because there's some cool games in here, like the Attack of the Movies. There's the Link one where you shoot crossbows. Got a ton of big buck hunters. There's some good stuff here in the Wii stuff. Wii RS Shooter, I guess. This is for the RS shooters. He's got separate. That's pretty sweet for the Reapers. So if you got the Reapers, which are pretty cool light guns, he's got files just for that. Xbox, got 4 Xbox games. And then Light Gun 4-player, which is pretty sweet. And again, Kris Coolmod has it to where you can have 4 individual types of light guns running at the same time, as long as you have all the sensors. Now, I don't know if the sensors will interfere. Like, for instance, if you have Gun for AR and you've got the retro shooters, they use 2 different light gun LED setups, which is, I've been trying to get one or the both of them to kind of be able to do either or. So that would just makes it easier on us, the player, to be able to just come up with one setup and play with the one you prefer. It'd be just so much easier if either one of them would do that. So you're able to do that with the 4-player setup if you need to. And I believe on Kris Coolmod's, like I said, you can have individual guns plugged in and it will put it. Light gun game, all games, that's their folder. Light gun game 4-player is pretty cool. So let me go back. Is there anything I missed? No, there is not. Wii Light Gun. I don't know why this is here. There's 80. So I guess this is the same thing. I don't know why this is separate. I'd have to ask him. Okay, so let me close out of this. As we open up Jason Baker's Light Gun Drive here, it's just one thing. It's Launchbox, and as you can see that there's no marquee here. So that would be one thing that he needs to fix or address. So that's one thing that's different is when it loads up into this feature, there's no marquee, but when it loads into the actual system, then you got the marquee. His is very simple and clean. He's got 343 games total. His are all light gun games as far as light gun goes. His arcade is, this is your full MAME category. There's 3,573 games. And if you're wondering where I'm seeing that, for big box and launch box, it's on the bottom left where it says arcade. Then you have your console categories. He's got 4,000 console games. I'll break down into each one individually. So as you can see here, there's just 3 menu icons to go into. Very clean, very simple, very dummy proof. Let's start with light gun games. 343 light gun games. We're going to start at the top. Here he's got calibration set up so you can do in-game calibration with whatever your light guns are. I'm not going to do that because I don't have to. Going into the Action Max, you've got 5 games total. American Laser, he's got 8 games total. Atomic Wave, there's 4 games total. I guess he needs to update some of these video features. Maybe it's just not on mine. I'm not sure. I could go into the system and upgrade it and update it and see if that's there. I'm not going to do that now, but I could. Then he's got 4 games for Atomic Wave. For MAME, he's got 73. For Xbox, he's got a total of 2. Nintendo Entertainment System, he's got 24. Nintendo Wii, he's got 32. Steam, he's got 57. Steam is his version of PC games. Kris Coolmod calls his arcade gunner. Sega CD is 6. Sega Dreamcast is 5. Genesis is 3. Master System is 12. The Model 2 is 6. Model 3 is 4. Sega Naomi is 5. Sega Saturn is 10. Super Nintendo is 10. PlayStation 2 is 8. PS3 is 3. PlayStation is 23. Teknoparrot is 39. Coolmod, I think, had 50. And we're back to the calibration. So let's back out. I'm going to go into the arcade category. So this is going to be all of your... let me start from the top. This is going to be all of your arcade games. So I believe this isn't just light gun. This is also MAME games. Yes, so this is also MAME games. So that's kind of cool. So let's start with Atomic Wave. You've got 24. Let's start with the actual MAME system. You've got 3,367. That's a full MAME set. Let's start with Sega Model 2, 32 games. Sega Model 3 is going to be 20. Sega Naomi is 117. Let me see something. Is it just going to be regular games, or is it going to be light gun games as well? Arcade, that's considered a light gun game. Virtual Fighter. So it looks like this is not light gun games at all here. Looks like it's just these particular games that are non-light gun. Except for that one Star Wars game. Okay, so Sega Naomi 117, Naomi 2 13, back to Atomic Wave at the beginning. So that's it for the MAME games. So even though there's 3,000 something MAME games, he does include all these extra. And I don't believe that these are in here for the MAME. I believe that they're just separate. Then we're going to go down to the consoles, and these are your classic 8 and 16-bit console systems. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to start with Atari. I don't know why TurboGrafx entered twice like that. That's weird. Okay, so we're going to go with Atari. So you got 604 Atari games. That's a full set. TurboGrafx 16, you got 125. Nintendo Entertainment System 848. Sega Genesis 1009. Super NES is going to be 1377. I have told him he needs to add the other Sega Master System on here, and that would kind of complete this. So that's the cool thing. You get all of these classic 8 and 16-bit systems, full game sets for all these classic systems. As a kid, like if I had all these would have been the bomb. So this is kind of like a, like a end-all be-all drive. That's why it's called Light Gun Plus. So it's got Light Gun games plus these extra things. So I think it's a nice way to fill it up. He definitely could stand to add more Light Gun games. So that is the Jason Baker 1 terabyte Light Gun Drive Plus and all that he has on here. As you can see, Kris Coolmod has a larger game base. Jason Baker's is smaller. The differences are, again, one is big box and launch box, one is coin ops. So it all stems down to what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you're running at home. Also, you should find out and make sure that you're running something strong enough for this. Me, I like to future-proof my stuff. So I'm running a 3060 Ti in here. So if you're running that, plus I've got 64 gigs of RAM, which is overkill, I know. But still, I want to make sure I have more than what I need to run any one of these games and to future-proof my machine for the future. Because as we just saw, the Mission Impossible game just got dropped from Teknoparrot. There we go, Mission Impossible. So this just got dropped from Teknoparrot. It is actually not on Kris Coolmod's 2TB Lightgun drive. He says it's going to be in the next update. So again, that's another difference between the two of them. Jasen Baker can update you on the fly. So if there's a new game that comes out, Baker can go, all right, here's the game. It's going to be in this week's update. Update it. There you go. Kris Coolmod probably could do that, but I'm not sure. But he's got it in the all-in-one. So in order for him to do that, you'd have to, again, update the entire drive, not just come and grab this game, which is actually what I did because Baker was missing the artwork. So I had the artwork missing for here and the video missing. So what I did was I went back in, grabbed the game, updated it, and it gave me all the artwork. So that's another, yet again, cool feature with these Lightgun drives that are different. So it all depends on what it is that you're looking to do, what your features are, and what you choose to do. So you please let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know if there's more you want to see for either one of these Lightgun drives. I'm going to be revisiting the 2TB Lightgun drive again because he's changed a lot. The Jasen Baker drive always changes, always evolving. Same with Coolmod. And again, people are always asking, what's the difference between a paid build and a free build? Very simple. Free builds, even though they're free, a lot of times these builds are taken from other drive makers and cobbled together, such as the D Smiles build, which is essentially Jasen Baker's once original 500 terabyte drive that he's since moved way past. So you'll notice that the files are the same if you have them, but the difference is this. These guys are constantly working on these drives, constantly making them better, constantly ever evolving them, coming out with new things, new features. Like I said, I talked Baker into basically building his own MAME hooker setup. So instead of him using MAME hooker, which is no longer being supported, he decided to create his own, get it running, and he calls it Total Recoil. Then you've got Hook of the Reaper, which a lot of other people are using. So same thing. So that causes the buttons, like when you catch damage, causes the flash. I'm not going to go into gameplay because what's that going to show you? Nothing really. Nothing gameplay. It's not, the games don't play any differently on one drive to the next. It truly does not. One guy might use a different emulator to load something. The other guy might not. That could be the only difference, but that's not really going to affect gameplay all that much. The only thing that will cause that to affect gameplay is if your PC can't run something like shaders. Like I know there was a gentleman who was asking for Baker's help, and Baker runs a certain type of shaders. The guy's running a mini PC, which is not technically strong enough to run a lot of these games. So Baker turned the shaders off, and that allowed this guy to run his PC. So once again, if you're out there, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please ask me. I want to know what you think about this video. If you think it sucked balls, tell me. If you think there's something that I missed, something that I should have showed, let me know. Catch you guys in the next one. Vito from Perfect Storm, out.